My name is Derek, I'm 22 years old. I live in Holland, in Rotterdam of course. Rotterdam is a very big city. On two sides we have a lot of bridges and very high buildings. It's all new because we were heavily bombed in the Second World War. So the center of the city is mostly new. It's all about, I think, the 50s or the 60s of the past century. It's a very crowded city. We have lots of people from all over the world here. People come here from Turkey, Morocco, Suriname, the Dutch Antilles. So yeah, it's a very, very nice city with all kinds of cultures and religions.
It's a city you have to know before you... yeah, you have to know the city because otherwise, because you hear so much things about the city that you can't judge it unless you have been there. It's the second city of the Netherlands, but in fact it's the biggest, I guess. We have an amazing port, connections throughout the whole world, and the city is... there are so many different people, and it's very nice, and you can learn a lot around here. Yes.
My name is Jesse.
Matthew Schonsberg.
Dwayne de Koning.
My age is 21.
35.
22.
I am Dutch.
I'm American.
I'm Dutch.
Oh, I do ICT, IT, computers, networking.
Architecture and urban design.
I'm a student.
What do you study?
Art and design. It's a graphic study.
For you, skate is a hobby or is a culture?
It's a mix of culture and hobby.
It's both. It's just hobby, life. I've been skating for 10 years. I just go out and go skate. It's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a culture, and it's a life basically in many different ways. For me, it was from a young age. It was a total alternative to everything else that was happening at the time. Because I found it was cool, you hung out with skaters and they were like nice to their grandmas, you know? They were like, but they could still be really interesting and be doing cool stuff, and they didn't have to try to have an attitude or anything. They were just open, you know, and interested actually. Generally, genuinely interested in things, and that's what made it cool to hang out with them, you know, because they were doing stuff. And so it was a lot of art and music and skateboarding all together, and building ramps then of course turned into building sculptures, turned into studying architecture, turned into designing skate parks. And everything in between.
How is the skater life?
Easy. Just wake up, check the weather, and if it's good, you go skate. If it's not, yeah, you stay in and you do schoolwork. It's easy, man. Chill it.
Good. It's a good life, yeah. No, I think it for me it consists of, I mean, I don't skate as much as I used to. I skate once or twice a week. I used to skate every day. Sometimes I don't skate for a couple of months, you know, it happens, right? But at the same time, like, I think the part that's the same is that if you're really free to skate all the time and you're good enough that you have sponsors and stuff like that, then your lifestyle really does consist of getting up in the morning. You know, you probably have some kind of personal routine, you do your thing, your family, your girlfriend or whatever, but then you go skating, you know? And when you're skating, the cool thing is you're always exploring, so you're seeing things, you're observing things, and that makes you, I think, it helps you understand the city, for instance, in a very interesting way, because you've been everywhere, and you've scoped out every spot, and you see who's there, like what's going on, and like what's not going on, etc. So if you're trying to design a good city, it's a great way to get an inside view, you know?
It's however you want it to be. It's not one thing. It's whatever you choose to be.
for me, it really has been a lot of different levels like that. Like first you're a skater, and then you're on someone's team, and then you got sponsors, and then you're traveling, and then you get hurt, and then you go up back on tour, and then you get hurt again. And that happens a few times until you're finally like, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be like crash dummy anymore, you know? So I just want to skate hard for the rest of my life instead of skate like so hard now that I'm so hurt, you know? So then become a team manager, and then travel, and then become a graphic designer, and then that turned into architecture, basically.
How long do you practice skate, and why do you start practicing skate?
Well, 10 or 9 years. Just skated because everybody else was fucking inlining and shit. So I was like, yeah, no. Go skate and never stopped.
Technically, I had a skateboard when I was like 5, but I didn't really skate, you know. I started really having fun, focusing on it, experiencing the culture, you might say, when I was about 11. So 24 years, something like that.
2 years, and why, I don't know. I don't know. If I wish I would know, but I don't know.
I see from childhood those sticks of TNT with my dad was sheriff and my brother.
Where do you practice skate?
Everywhere around Holland. Now I live in Rotterdam, so I skate a lot here. Other street spots, but I always go like to other cities, other countries to skate, just have fun.
Most of the time Rotterdam, but sometimes other places.
Well, when I was a sponsored amateur, I was all over the European continent, as far north as Norway, as far south as Morocco, basically, as far east as Yugoslavia, as far west as Britain, you know, so it was really fun to have that opportunity to travel. I've skated in Africa, also in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, but that was incidental to architectural work, you know. But also mainly, but like here now in Rotterdam, I skate here. I skate at Skateland, which is across town. It's indoors if it's raining or evening, something like that. And I skate in my building. I live in a high-rise, and I got 4 levels of parking garage that are almost always empty, and they're perfect. Like, great stuff in there. So I session that pretty regularly. Yeah, so wherever you can find. When I'm in New York, I skate basically just around the streets. It's always fun. Just you can skate everywhere, you know. And then there's a cool place called, it used to be called the Tylenol Bowl in Brooklyn. They call it something else now, but same place.
Do you have any problem with the police when you are practicing skating in the street?
Yeah, sometimes. But you don't really get tickets in Holland, but you get kicked out a lot. But it's just try and avoid it. Just run or whatever. Yeah. Just the usual.
No, not really. No. They are just, okay, I'm like a bicycle.
Well, the police have problems with us. I've never had a problem with the police. I mean, they usually come up and they say something to you, and if you're cool to them, they're usually cool back. They'll just be like, you know, you got to leave or something. But yeah, so not in that way. I mean, of course, when I was a kid, yeah, well, whatever. You run from cops, you know, and you could get away when you're a kid, and it doesn't matter, you know. So it's fun, actually, kind of an adventure, you know.
Tell us about any curious history of your life of skate.
Like each year, with a big group of friends, like 15 friends, we go on tour. We like last year went to France, Lyon, Montpellier. And shit that happens there is just, yeah, that's insane.
Jamal Williams, Brooklyn, Hops. Spitfire, Independent. Oh, Jamal. Well, so yeah, with Jamal, the cool thing is now, like, he's got his own company, he's got his own shop, he's got his own a career in art. That's amazing, because he also basically came up with us. We were doing all these drawings and stuff. He started drawing with us, and pretty soon he was like doing incredible stuff, you know. So now this year he had a solo show in Japan, a solo show in Miami, a solo show in Brooklyn. So he's like got a whole career now with that too. So and that's all through skateboarding, you know. So it's that kind of world, you know. And if you can, yeah, if you're let's say an honest person and you're really interested in what you're doing in skateboarding, you'll go somewhere and it'll probably be good for you, you know.
If you do good, you're gonna be. It's gonna be good. Just try don't fuck up, you know. Get your shit together and have fun. Just go with the flow, you know. Like skating.
Live your life to the fullest, could be your last day.
Civilization is an abstraction, isn't it? We're taking nature and making a pattern out of what we consider to be characteristic and beautiful in nature, and we use education to that end. But education doesn't generally recognize it, but I hope it will. See the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower. Hold eternity in the palm of your hand and infinity in an hour.
Be good for each other, man. Be good, and then it's all good.